did not open our beak, we did not flap our wings, and we did not chirp. We remained silent. And the devil took what God gave us, and we got to take it back. And those from among you will rebuild the ancient ruins. They will raise up the age-old foundations. And you will be called the repairer of the breach and the restorer of the streets in which to dwell. The devil came in and stole the eggs out of the nest. And while he was stealing the eggs, we did not open our beak, we did not flap our wings, and we did not chirp. We remained silent. And the devil took what God gave us, and we got to take it back. When they went to rebuild the walls and the temple, Nehemiah and Ezra, they had all these holes in the wall, and they had to rebuild the walls with a trowel in one hand. They were laying mortar and a sword in the other. And folks, we've come back to that day. This is that day where you have to build and defend all at the same time. And you must not be frightened of what the enemy says he can do, because he can't do anything without God's permission. He can't do one thing. Don't give him permission. Over in Ephesians 4 it says, don't give place to the devil, or don't give him an opportunity, or don't open a door to him. So just say, look, I got the door open, but I'm going to close the door. And you got to get out. And just put him out. Put him out of your life. And put him out of your area. Put him out of your home. Put him out of your neighborhood. Put him out. Put him out. And he'll be gone, and he'll have to stay gone. So you can become a repairer of the breach. This is the beginning. This is the birth pangs of a birth taking place. Folks, when it comes, you're not going to really recognize it, so don't try to think what it's going to be. When it gets here, it's going to be most unusual. Most unusual.
They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall rise up with him as eagles, as eagles. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall run and not faint. I will wait on you, Lord. I will wait on you, Lord. I put my trust in you alone. I will wait.
In this season, God himself has promised that if we do not relent, and if we obey and simply hold our ground, he's going to make all this work out. And God's given us a very specific sign, a very American one. It came to us on the wings of a dove, but the sign he's giving is one of an eagle.
But can I say to you now, says the Spirit of God, I want to share my humor. For they shall say, what is this that is happening with the birds? Can God speak a message by even birds? God says, I spoke and I declared, as it was in the days of Noah, when he sent out the raven, he sent out the dove. It was signs that would be revealed of the conditions of the earth. And so I shall use the birds again. And God says there will be reports in the media, even in the newspaper, of things that will be uncovered by literal ravens and dirty birds that will uncover. And God says, and the gathering of doves. And many shall say, what is this with the doves? And God says, as it was when the dove ascended upon the Son of God in his baptism, that there was an outpouring of the Holy Spirit. Look to the sign of the eagle, for there shall be great gatherings of eagles. Eagles that shall appear in very unusual places in you United States.
just like he fed Elijah with food chewed up by ravens, spit into the mouth of his prophet, who whined and complained and doubted that the promises of God were indeed true for him. God decided, well, instead of feeding you caviar and on plates, I'll keep my promise, but you'll have to eat pre-chewed food, dude. America, the sign he gave Elijah, he gives again, but with a majestic bird. He cares so much about birds that it says in Matthew that not a sparrow falls to the ground without his notice. It is therefore that I urge all Americans at this point, when it seems like nothing could get us out of this, right? All of our enemies are round about us with full access, and better access than even the Greeks had, with a horse and an army willing to get inside it in order to destroy Troy. The access is even greater for our enemies right at this moment. But God says, I operate in the impossible. If you're discouraged and feel like giving up, don't. Wait for reinforcements. That's what a good soldier does. That's what a good patriot does. That's what a good American does. And that's what God's asking us to do. Hold on just a little longer. You can mount on the wings of eagles, or you can have your food pre-chewed by a raven. The choice is up to you. Buzzards may be circling, but it takes patience for an eagle to show up.
I will wait on you, Lord. I will wait on you, Lord. I put my trust in you alone. I will wait.
In this season, God himself has promised that if we do not relent, and if we obey and simply hold our ground, he's going to make all this work out. And God's given us a very specific sign, a very American one. It came to us on the wings of a dove, but the sign he's giving is one of an eagle.